start with first term. Power only load. Power only is where you only pick up and drop trailers usually. It can mean few different things. You can pick up a loaded trailer for a broker, and you can pick up a loaded trailer from a customer or a shipper, and then just drop it somewhere. So this means that you're only using your tractor. You don't use your own trailer. You are provided with a trailer. If you do power only loads with brokers on consistent basis, then they would usually have yards to drop them off and pick up another one, or maybe like go directly to the customer and drop the trailer there, or maybe even unload the trailer and then go bring that empty trailer to the next destination and then pick up another loaded trailer and do it that way. Also, you can look for power only loads on boards, on load boards, and if you just make sure you choose the option for power only. There are also loads that you can pick up like preloaded trailers or even empty trailers and then just drop them off somewhere, and then you're done. But then you have to look for another load like that with another broker or with another shipper. You don't have constant loads like this, so sometimes these loads can be found too. Bill of lading. What's a bill of lading? That's basically a document that the shipper will usually give you, and you have to have it. Your trucks have to have that. If the DOT pulls them over, then they have to have a documentation that specifies what they're hauling, and usually where they picked up and where they're delivering, but especially like what kind of goods are they hauling. They need to know if these are hazmat materials or not, what's inside the trailer, specifics of the load. But bill of lading will usually specify the quantities, counts, description of the load, weight of the load, whether if it's a hazmat load, or does it have dangerous materials. Usually it has the shipper's information and receiver's information, like where you're going with the load, and sometimes they have the third party, like whoever the customer is, the original customer, they have their information on the load, and usually the shipper will sign it. Sometimes they don't, and then sometimes they will ask the driver also to sign the bill of lading. But then the most important thing is that the receiver signs that, and that's a proof that you actually delivered the load. You cannot invoice this load, you cannot get paid for the load unless and until the receiver signs it. So that's now a legal POD. Now this is a proof of delivery, and then you can use it to get paid for delivering this load. If the broker gets or the customer gets the bill of lading without the receiver's signature, then they're not going to pay for it. So it's essential that your drivers know that. So when the driver delivers, they have to collect the receiver's signature. Sometimes now, especially now in these new times, like everyone wants to do like touch-free things, but then even sometimes with the auto industries, sometimes they have a stamp and they would stamp it, and then that serves as a signature, as a proof of delivery. So that's basically what bill of lading is. One more thing, I advise all my drivers, and then you can even go to my website to download section, and there is a free bill of lading there that you download, that you always have a blank bill of lading on your computer, and that your drivers, print out few of them for your drivers, or they can even go to a truck stop and buy blank bill of ladings. Sometimes when they go to pick up a load, that sometimes happen, not very often, but it does happen. They will not give them a bill of lading. They will say, we don't have anything, here's the load, just take it. So what the driver does then, the driver produces the bill of lading. They have this blank bill of lading sheet in their truck at all times, and then they would just put in like where they picked up load, where the load is going, and they will ask the shipper, maybe even them, to fill it out. But if they don't want to, then the driver would ask them, the quantities and the weight and all that, and as much as information as he or she can put on that bill of lading. And now they have a legal document that they can use in case they get pulled over, and they can give this to the receiver to sign, and you can get paid for that load. Otherwise, you can't even get paid for the load because you don't have a proof that you delivered. And drivers, if they don't collect the receiver's signature, then it's on them. I'm really flexible with drivers, but then essentially, if the driver does not collect the signature, that's their job. I know their job is to drive only, and not to unload trucks, not to do stuff like that. But at the end, they are the ones who are getting the bill of lading. They're getting it handed back from the receiver, and they have to look at the bill of lading and see if it was signed, because drivers expect you to pay them for that load. Whether this is an owner operator or a company driver, you still have to pay them. But how are you going to pay the driver if you cannot get paid for the load, and they are the ones who are supposed to get that in? So you would ask your driver, hey, if you're close by, if you're nearby, go back and get their signature. Or you can always call them up. The driver can call them, or you can call them. Just tell the driver, hey, next time, make sure that you have the signature. But you can call that receiver and then ask them. I've done it a few times. I actually, even when I was driving, I went to a city that's like 80 miles away. I didn't get that signature, and then my company made them get it, whichever way I can. So I got into my car, I drove over there and got the signature because I needed to get paid too, and I didn't get the signature. It was my fault. But you can call them and ask them to email you or fax you or mail you that bill of lading as a favor, and you have to send it to the broker. Broker has to collect their payment too, and they cannot get paid, and you can get paid. No one can get paid without that signature. So that's bill of lading.